Weak legs, fading balance, and constant fatigue. These are not just random complaints, they are the most common and troubling concerns I hear from people over the age of 60. Imagine waking up in the morning already tired, standing up only to feel your legs tremble, or walking a short distance and realizing you must sit down because your energy feels drained. For many older adults, this becomes the new normal. And yet, it is not only discouraging, it is dangerous. These physical changes increase the risk of falls, steal independence, and quietly erode the confidence that makes daily life feel possible. Far too often, the message delivered to seniors is both simple and damaging. That's just aging. Nothing can be done. This idea takes root in the mind like a heavy shadow, leaving people to believe that decline is unavoidable. But that message is misleading. While it is true that aging changes the body, decline itself is not inevitable. The truth is that the human body can remain strong, mobile, and resilient well past 60, provided it receives the right support. And here is the surprising part. Sometimes that support doesn't begin with another prescription, a complicated gym plan, or a costly supplement. It can begin with something as ordinary as the tea you drink each day. This simple ritual: boiling water, steeping herbs, taking time for a warm sip may not look powerful, but it carries hidden potential. For centuries, cultures around the world have turned to teas not just for comfort, but for healing, stamina, and recovery. Now, modern research confirms what tradition has whispered all along. In the right combinations, certain teas can slow muscle decline, ease pain, and restore vitality. I am Dr. William Lee. For more than 30 years, I have worked alongside older adults determined to protect their independence, preserve their strength, and keep joy in everyday life. In my clinical practice, I've seen the difference between those who accept decline as fate and those who choose daily habits that keep their bodies resilient. The ones who age most successfully are not those with the newest pills or the strictest diets, but those who embrace sustainable, natural routines that build strength quietly, day after day. Today, I want to share with you 3 teas that can do exactly that. These are not exotic fads. They are supported by modern science and validated by. But before we dive into the teas themselves, let us first look at what is happening inside the body as we age. After 60, one condition in particular becomes more common: sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength. Sarcopenia is not caused by a single problem. It is the result of many forces acting together: reduced physical activity, hormonal decline, chronic inflammation, and poor circulation. As a result, muscles shrink, fatigue more quickly, and recover more slowly. Joints stiffen, blood flow weakens, and balance falters. Traditional medicine often treats these issues separately: a pill for inflammation, a therapy for balance, a supplement for fatigue. But the truth is, these processes are connected like branches of the same tree. If you nourish the roots, the whole tree thrives. That's why supporting them together in a holistic way produces far better outcomes, and that's exactly where the right teas play such an important role. Plants are living pharmacies. Within their leaves, roots, and seeds are bioactive compounds, antioxidants, anti-inflammatory agents, and adaptogens that support multiple systems at once. Unlike a synthetic drug that typically targets only one pathway, these natural compounds provide broader benefits: calming inflammation, stimulating circulation, protecting cells, and optimizing the body's use of energy. Think of it this way: if a single pill is like a locksmith opening one door, tea is like a master key that opens several doors at once. With each sip, you are not only addressing one symptom, but nurturing the whole system: muscles, nerves, blood vessels, and even your mood. And over weeks and months, this builds into something powerful: strength regained, energy restored, and confidence renewed. That is why I often remind my patients, small daily actions matter more than dramatic one-time efforts. A single cup of tea may feel insignificant, but as a ritual repeated day after day, it becomes transformative. Just as muscle decline develops gradually, so too does muscle rebuilding. Tea is not a magic bullet, it is a steady companion in the journey of aging well. In the next sections, we will explore 3 powerful teas: ginger turmeric tea, ginseng green tea, and ashwagandha root tea. Each one works differently, but together they form a complete strategy for restoring strength, easing fatigue, and supporting balance. Before we continue, I want to ask you something important. If you find this topic meaningful, if you believe that aging should be about adaptation, not decline. I invite you to be part of this journey with us. Join our community at Seniors Power today. Simply like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your engagement not only supports our work, but also inspires others to take action in their own lives. Together, we can change the story of aging one small choice at a time. To understand why simple habits like drinking tea can make such a difference, we need to look deeper into what happens inside the aging body. After 60, one silent condition begins to affect nearly everyone, though it often goes unnoticed until it has already taken a toll: sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is the gradual and persistent loss of muscle mass and strength. It doesn't strike suddenly like an accident or an infection. Instead, it creeps in slowly, year after year. People may first notice it when standing up from a chair takes longer, when carrying groceries feels heavier than it used to, or when climbing stairs leaves the legs burning after only a few steps. What was once effortless becomes a conscious, sometimes discouraging challenge. But what causes sarcopenia? It is not a single villain. It is the result of many forces acting together, and they are all tied to aging. One factor is reduced physical activity. As people grow older, it becomes easier to sit more and move less. Muscles that are not used begin to shrink, following the old rule: use it or lose it. At the same time, hormone levels decline. Testosterone, estrogen, and growth hormone, each of which plays a role in building and repairing muscle, naturally decrease with age. Another factor is chronic inflammation. This is not the kind of swelling you notice after an injury, but a low, smoldering inflammation that lingers inside the body. It damages tissues slowly and accelerates the breakdown of muscle fibers. Finally, there is impaired circulation. When blood flow is less efficient, muscles are starved of oxygen and nutrients, which makes them weaker and slower to recover. The result of all these forces working together is clear: muscles shrink, energy drains, and balance suffers. For many, the decline feels unstoppable. Joints stiffen, walking becomes unsteady, and falls become more frequent. And beyond the physical challenges, there is a deeper cost: the emotional weight of losing independence. Every stumble, every moment of weakness chips away at confidence. Many older adults begin to withdraw, avoiding activities they once loved for fear of embarrassment or injury. Traditional medicine often looks at these issues separately. If you have inflammation, you are given one pill. If you struggle with balance, you're sent to therapy. If fatigue dominates, another supplement might be added. But rarely do these solutions address the fact that all these processes are connected. In reality, the body is not a collection of isolated parts. It is a living system where everything works together. This is where holistic approaches gain their strength. When we support circulation, inflammation, energy, and stress all at once, we are no longer fighting isolated battles. We are strengthening the entire network that keeps us moving. It is like reinforcing the foundation of a house instead of patching cracks in the walls. The improvements may begin subtly, but they ripple outward, creating more stability and resilience with time. And this is exactly what certain teas can provide. Plants contain compounds that act in harmony with the body, targeting multiple pathways at once. Antioxidants protect cells from oxidative stress, the same stress that damages DNA and accelerates muscle aging. Anti-inflammatory compounds calm the fire inside joints and muscles, allowing the body to repair rather than break down. Adaptogens, unique plant compounds that help the body adapt to stress balance hormones and support the nervous system, ensuring energy is not wasted but preserved. Think about it. Unlike a drug designed to solve a single problem, tea offers broad-spectrum support. A sip of ginger turmeric tea not only reduces inflammation, but also boosts circulation. A cup of ginseng green tea doesn't just fight fatigue, it improves mental clarity, motivation, and endurance. Ashwagandha root tea doesn't merely calm stress, it helps restore neuromuscular strength and sleep quality. Each one is like a thread, but together they weave a stronger safety net for the aging body. For decades, researchers overlooked these natural supports, focusing instead on pharmaceuticals. But in recent years, science has begun to confirm what traditional medicine has known for centuries. Studies show that seniors who regularly consume antioxidant-rich teas have lower risks of muscle weakness, better balance, and fewer falls. Other trials demonstrate improved sleep, reduced anxiety, and even sharper memory in older adults who incorporate adaptogenic herbs. It is a reminder that sometimes the solutions we seek are not hidden in expensive laboratories or locked inside complicated formulas. They are growing in the earth, waiting to be brewed into a warm, healing cup. As we move forward, we will see how 3 specific teas: ginger turmeric tea, ginseng green tea, and ashwagandha root tea address different aspects of weakness, fatigue, and balance. They are not quick fixes, but steady allies. Together, they form a simple, practical strategy for aging with resilience. So let us begin our journey, starting with the first and perhaps most powerful combination, ginger turmeric tea, a blend that targets two of the deepest culprits of muscle decline, inflammation, and poor circulation. When most people think of tea, they picture a comforting ritual, a warm cup in the morning, steam rising gently, or perhaps an evening brew that calms the nerves before bed. But beneath that simple ritual lies something extraordinary. Tea, especially when crafted from medicinal plants, is more than a beverage. It is a delivery system for some of nature's most powerful compounds. Plants have always been humanity's first medicine. Before pharmacies, before laboratories, people turned to leaves, roots, and seeds to heal wounds, ease pain, and restore strength. Today, modern science has uncovered why these traditions worked. Inside plants are bioactive compounds, antioxidants that protect cells, anti-inflammatory agents that reduce pain, and adaptogens that balance stress and energy. Unlike a synthetic drug that usually targets one narrow pathway, these plant compounds act broadly, supporting multiple systems at once. This is why tea becomes such a valuable ally for aging adults. Each sip carries molecules that circulate through the body, soothing inflammation, improving blood flow, protecting DNA, and even calming the nervous system. It is a gentle but constant nudge toward balance. And over time, that steady support translates into stronger muscles, steadier balance, and more energy. Consider the role of antioxidants. As we age, the body is under constant attack from free radicals, unstable molecules that damage proteins, lipids, and DNA. This process, called oxidative stress, is one of the driving forces behind muscle aging, joint stiffness, and fatigue. Teas rich in antioxidants like green tea neutralize these free radicals, protecting cells and slowing the pace of decline. Now think about anti-inflammatory compounds. Chronic inflammation is like a slow fire smoldering in the body. It doesn't always cause obvious pain, but it weakens tissues and accelerates sarcopenia. Turmeric, one of the key plants we will discuss, contains curcumin, a compound so effective at calming inflammation that researchers compare it to some pharmaceutical drugs without the harsh side effects. And then there are adaptogens, perhaps the most fascinating category of plant compounds. Adaptogens help the body maintain stability under stress. They don't overstimulate, nor do they sedate. Instead, they restore balance. Ginseng and ashwagandha are classic adaptogens known to regulate cortisol, support the nervous system, and increase resilience. For older adults who often live in a cycle of fatigue, poor sleep, and stress, adaptogens act as quiet guardians, bringing the body back into equilibrium. When you see all of these compounds working together, tea stops looking like a simple drink and starts appearing like a sophisticated natural therapy. It is not about instant results, it is about building resilience through daily habits. Just as weakness doesn't arrive overnight, strength isn't rebuilt in a day, but one steady ritual, practiced morning after morning, can change the trajectory of aging. To put this into perspective, let's compare. Imagine taking a single pill designed to fight inflammation. It might bring temporary relief, but it won't address circulation, energy, or sleep. Tea, however, offers a spectrum of benefits. Ginger not only calms inflammation, but also improves blood flow. Green tea doesn't just provide antioxidants, it sharpens focus and delivers gentle energy. Ashwagandha doesn't simply reduce stress, it strengthens the neuromuscular system and improves sleep quality. Each cup works like a multi-tool, providing layers of support where the body needs it most. This approach is deeply aligned with how the body itself functions. Human health is not compartmentalized. Muscles, nerves, hormones, and the mind are interconnected. When one system falters, the others follow. Likewise, when one is strengthened, the others benefit. Drinking these teas is like watering the roots of a tree. The benefits rise through every branch: stronger legs, sharper focus, calmer nerves, and renewed confidence. There is also a psychological dimension worth noting. Rituals matter, especially as we age. Brewing tea becomes a moment of mindfulness, a pause in the day that signals care for oneself. This is not just about chemistry, it is about habit. Over time, the act of choosing health daily builds a sense of empowerment. And for many older adults, that empowerment is as valuable as the physical benefits themselves. The philosophy here is simple. Aging is not about surrender, it is about adaptation, and adaptation thrives on small, consistent choices. A warm cup of tea may feel ordinary, but inside it are extraordinary compounds working in quiet harmony with the body. With that foundation in mind, it is time to move from the general to the specific. The first tea we will explore combines two spices most people already know from their kitchen's ginger and turmeric. When united in a single cup, they create a therapeutic blend that addresses two of the most destructive forces behind weak legs and fatigue: inflammation and poor circulation. Let us begin with the first powerful combination: ginger-turmeric tea. At first glance, ginger and turmeric may seem like nothing more than familiar spices used in soups, curries, or marinades. But when they are blended together into tea, they become a therapeutic force that directly addresses two of the most common drivers of weak legs and fatigue: inflammation and poor circulation. Let's start with ginger. For thousands of years, this root has been valued in Asia, the Middle East, and beyond for its warming, healing qualities. Modern science now confirms what tradition long suggested. Ginger contains compounds called gingerols, which act as natural vasodilators. In simple terms, they relax blood vessels, allowing blood to flow more freely throughout the body. For older adults, this is especially critical because sluggish circulation often hides beneath the surface as the real cause of heavy legs, nighttime cramps, and constant fatigue. Muscles without oxygen are like engines without fuel, they sputter and stall. By improving circulation, ginger ensures that oxygen and nutrients are delivered more efficiently, giving muscles the resources they need to perform and recover. I have seen this firsthand in clinical practice. Patients who added a daily cup of ginger tea often reported a noticeable lightness in their legs. The feeling of dragging through the day gave way to a sense of renewed energy. They could walk longer, stand more confidently, and even climb stairs with less strain. These are not miracles. They're the natural result of restoring what the body was missing: proper blood flow. Now let us turn to turmeric. If ginger is the key to circulation, turmeric is the warrior against inflammation. Its most famous compound, curcumin, is one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory agents ever discovered. Inflammation, particularly the chronic, low-grade kind that smolders in the body with age, is both a symptom and a cause of muscle weakness. It stiffens joints, accelerates muscle breakdown, and turns even simple movements into painful chores. Curcumin works by blocking inflammatory enzymes and signaling molecules, essentially calming the fire inside the body. This allows muscle fibers the chance to rebuild and joints the freedom to move more comfortably. Studies have shown that curcumin not only reduces joint pain but also protects muscle fibers from further damage. For seniors, this means fewer aches after walking, less soreness after light exercise, and greater freedom in daily movement. The true magic happens when ginger and turmeric are combined. Ginger brings the oxygen and nutrients by improving circulation, while turmeric reduces inflammation so those nutrients can be used effectively. Together, they create both immediate relief and long-term rebuilding. Muscles feel less sluggish today and grow stronger for tomorrow. This synergy is one reason why the ginger-turmeric blend has been cherished in traditional medicine for generations. But here is an important detail: preparation matters. Fresh ginger root releases higher concentrations of gingerols than powdered ginger, so whenever possible, fresh slices are best. Fresh turmeric root is also ideal, but turmeric powder can still provide benefits if roots are not available. And there is a secret ingredient many people overlook: black pepper. Just a pinch in your tea increases curcumin absorption by several 100%. That's because black pepper contains piperine, a compound that helps curcumin pass through the intestinal wall into the bloodstream. Without it, much of curcumin is wasted. Add a squeeze of lemon or a teaspoon of honey, and you have not only a powerful remedy, but also a flavorful cup. Of course, one cup will not transform your legs overnight. Consistency is key. A steady daily habit builds strength over weeks and months, just as weakness developed over years. In my experience, some people notice reduced stiffness within a week, while others need several weeks to feel the difference. The important point is to treat it as a lifestyle, not a quick fix. The cultural history of ginger and turmeric tea underscores its value. In India, it has been a household remedy for generations, offered to elders to relieve joint pain, improve digestion, and preserve mobility. The fact that this tradition has survived centuries without fading speaks volumes about its effectiveness. Interestingly, modern athletes have also adopted turmeric to speed recovery after intense training. If it helps elite performers recover from grueling schedules, it can certainly help seniors cope with the physical stress of daily life. The science and tradition together tell the same story. Ginger turmeric tea is not just a kitchen drink, but a potent ally against two of the most stubborn challenges of aging: circulation problems and inflammation. By making it a regular part of life, older adults gain more than relief from soreness. They gain confidence in movement, stamina for daily tasks, and hope for maintaining independence. With ginger and turmeric as our foundation, we can now turn to another blend that addresses a different but equally devastating aspect of aging: fatigue. While many older adults can manage stiffness or pain, the sense of constantly running out of energy is often the hardest burden to bear. That is where our next tea ginseng green tea enters the story. Turmeric deserves its own spotlight because while ginger stimulates circulation, turmeric carries a unique power against the silent enemy of aging muscles: inflammation. At the heart of turmeric lies curcumin, a bright yellow compound that scientists now recognize as one of nature's most potent anti-inflammatory agents. Unlike a painkiller that numbs discomfort temporarily, curcumin works at the source. It blocks inflammatory enzymes and signaling pathways inside the body, cooling the internal fire that accelerates muscle breakdown, stiffens joints, and magnifies soreness after even light activity. Think about what inflammation does in daily life. A senior might walk around the block and wake the next morning with aching knees. Another might garden for half an hour and feel sore for 2 days afterward. That stiffness isn't just an annoyance, it's inflammation slowing recovery and discouraging further activity. Curcumin interrupts this cycle. By calming the inflammation, it allows muscles and joints to rebound faster, making everyday movement less punishing and more sustainable. Modern research supports these traditional claims. Clinical trials have shown that curcumin reduces arthritis pain and improves mobility in older adults. Other studies suggest it protects muscle fibers from oxidative damage, essentially shielding them from the microscopic tears that accumulate with age. This means that turmeric doesn't just make walking more comfortable, it actively preserves the structural integrity of muscle tissue. But curcumin has one challenge: it is not easily absorbed by the body. This is where black pepper becomes crucial. Its active compound piperine enhances curcumin absorption by up to 20%. Without it, much of the curcumin simply passes through the digestive system unused. That is why traditional recipes often pair turmeric with pepper. It is wisdom born not of labs, but of observation and practice over centuries. Flavor can also play a role in consistency. A slice of lemon adds brightness and vitamin C, which further supports circulation. A teaspoon of honey balances the earthiness with natural sweetness, making the tea enjoyable without undermining its benefits. For seniors struggling with appetite or digestive issues, this pleasant taste can encourage daily use, ensuring the habit sticks. The beauty of turmeric is that its story is not confined to ancient kitchens. It continues to shape modern health practices. In Ayurveda, India's traditional system of medicine, turmeric tea has been used for generations to ease joint pain, reduce fatigue, and maintain flexibility. Families often serve it to elders as a preventive tonic, a daily safeguard for mobility and independence. Today, professional athletes, people at the opposite end of the age spectrum, are embracing turmeric for recovery. They recognize what science confirms: reducing inflammation shortens downtime, allowing muscles to rebuild more efficiently. The fact that turmeric can serve both a 25-year-old athlete and a 70-year-old retiree reveals its universality. Whether the goal is running faster laps or walking to the market without pain, curcumin equips the body to endure and recover. And when turmeric joins forces with ginger, the results amplify. Ginger brings oxygen and nutrients into tired muscles, while turmeric reduces the inflammation that prevents those muscles from healing. Together, they form a cycle of restoration. Blood flow delivers the building blocks, inflammation is subdued, and repair begins. It is a partnership of circulation and recovery, like two hands working together to lift a burden. Consistency remains the secret ingredient. A single cup is not a cure, but daily use builds momentum. In my clinical experience, patients who drank ginger turmeric tea every day for a month often reported not just reduced soreness, but also a psychological shift. They felt more willing to exercise, more confident in their steps, and more hopeful about maintaining independence. That renewed confidence is itself a medicine, sparking a virtuous cycle of activity, strength, and resilience. Turmeric's lesson is clear. Aging is not about surrendering to pain. It is about finding tools that calm the body's hidden battles so that strength has room to return. When inflammation is managed, the body is free to rebuild, and with ginger at its side, turmeric becomes more than a spice, it becomes a daily ally against decline. Having explored the power of this golden root, we now turn to another challenge of aging. Not just stiffness or soreness, but the deep, draining fatigue that makes life feel smaller and smaller. For that, the next remedy, ginseng green tea, offers a unique solution, combining calm energy with enhanced stamina for both body and mind. By now, it should be clear that ginger and turmeric are more than kitchen spices. Together, they are powerful allies against two of the most stubborn forces of aging, poor circulation and chronic inflammation. But even with all their healing potential, there is one truth that must be emphasized again and again. Consistency matters more than intensity. Many older adults fall into the trap of expecting dramatic changes from a single dose, whether it's a new pill, a vitamin, or even a cup of tea, but the body does not work that way. Weakness develops slowly, over years of inactivity, stress, and subtle decline. In the same way, rebuilding strength requires steady, repeated support. A single cup of ginger turmeric tea will not make stiff legs suddenly agile, but a cup each day over weeks and months nourishes the body in small, cumulative ways that become visible over time. This mirrors the principle of exercise. Walking once around the block may not change your health, but walking daily builds endurance, strengthens muscles, and supports balance. Tea works in the same way. It's not about a one-time effect, it's about a lifestyle ritual that compounds benefits with each repetition. Tradition supports this idea. In India, ginger and turmeric tea has been a household practice for centuries, passed down not as a quick fix but as a daily safeguard. Families would prepare it for elders, not because they expected instant miracles, but because they understood that steady habits preserve mobility and independence. The fact that this tradition has survived across generations, cultures, and continents is proof of its enduring effectiveness. Even modern science acknowledges this truth. Researchers studying curcumin supplementation often note that the most significant improvements appear after weeks of consistent use. Similarly, clinical trials on ginger show enhanced circulation and reduced muscle fatigue after regular daily intacanot from occasional sips. This aligns with the body's own biology. Cells adapt slowly, muscles rebuild gradually, and inflammation calms only with steady input. The preparation of this tea is also worth careful attention. Fresh ginger root and fresh turmeric root release more potent compounds than powders, though powders remain a useful option. Adding black pepper is essential for absorption, and a touch of honey or lemon enhances both flavor and health benefits. Steeping the tea for 10-15 minutes allows the bioactive compounds to infuse fully, turning simple boiling water into a medicinal tonic. Some may wonder, is it really worth the effort for just a cup of tea? To that, I offer this perspective. The most powerful habits are often the simplest. A daily walk, 10 minutes of stretching, a restful night's sleep all seem ordinary, but together they transform health over time. In the same way, a cup of ginger turmeric tea may feel small, but its effects ripple outward, lighter steps, easier movement, and greater confidence in everyday life. There is also a psychological dimension to this ritual. Brewing tea invites mindfulness. It becomes a pause in the day, a reminder that you are taking active steps for your own health. That small act of self-care carries emotional weight, especially for older adults who may feel their independence slipping. Knowing that you are doing something each day to support your strength is empowering. It restores a sense of control and optimism. So, as we close the chapter on ginger and turmeric, the message is simple. Don't think of this tea as a medicine you take when pain strikes. Think of it as a daily companion, a steady source of support that prepares your body to move, recover, and thrive. And with that foundation laid, we now turn to the next chapter, energy. Because while inflammation and circulation affect strength, it is often fatigue, the draining, ever-present lack of energy that shrinks life the fastest. For that, we look to a blend cherished both in ancient medicine and modern science. Ginseng green tea. Now we come to the second great ally in the fight against weakness and decline. Ginseng green tea. Where ginger and turmeric focus on circulation and inflammation, ginseng green tea tackles another challenge that weighs heavily on older adults: fatigue. Fatigue is not just feeling tired, it is the sense that energy has been stolen, that the body cannot summon the power to do even simple things. Many seniors tell me, "Doctor, I can handle a little pain, but it's the exhaustion that makes life feel smaller." They wake up already weary, walk a short distance only to feel drained, and lose the motivation to stay active. And once fatigue takes hold, it feeds a vicious cycle. Inactivity weakens muscles, weak muscles make activity harder, and energy levels plummet further. This is where ginseng green tea shines. It blends two plants with complementary strengths: ginseng, the adaptogen that fortifies resilience, and green tea, the antioxidant-rich leaf that provides calm, steady energy. Together, they create a tea that does more than wake you up. It builds a foundation of endurance, both physical and mental. Let us begin with ginseng. For centuries, ginseng root has been treasured in Asian medicine as a tonic for vitality, stamina, and longevity. Modern research explains why. Ginseng contains compounds called ginsenosides, which act on multiple systems at once. They improve how muscles use oxygen, making activity feel less exhausting. They reduce levels of cortisol, the stress hormone that accelerates muscle breakdown and drains energy. And they enhance mitochondrial function, the performance of the tiny power plants inside our cells that generate energy. This last effect is crucial. As we age, mitochondria become less efficient. They produce less energy while generating more oxidative stress, leaving muscles starved even when we eat well. By supporting mitochondrial activity, ginseng helps older muscles do more with less, restoring a sense of vitality. But the benefits of ginseng extend beyond the body. One of the most overlooked aspects of aging is the role of mental energy. When people feel mentally foggy, anxious, or drained, they're less likely to move. Fatigue becomes as much psychological as physical. Ginseng has been shown to improve cognitive performance and reduce mental exhaustion. Patients who once felt overwhelmed by simple routines often find renewed focus and motivation after incorporating ginseng tea. They not only have stronger legs, they also have the willpower to use them. Now consider green tea. Most people know it as a healthy beverage, but its depth goes far beyond reputation. Green tea is rich in catechins, powerful antioxidants that protect cells from oxidative stress, the very stress that damages muscle fibers, stiffens joints, and accelerates decline. By neutralizing free radicals, catechins preserve muscle integrity and slow the wear and tear of aging. Green tea also contains a modest amount of caffeine, far less than coffee, but here is where it becomes unique. It is paired with an amino acid called L-theanine. This compound calms the nervous system, smoothing out caffeine's stimulating effect. Instead of a sharp spike of energy followed by a crash, green tea produces a state of alert calm. For older adults sensitive to coffee's jitters, this balance is a gift. It offers gentle wakefulness without strain, a mental lift without exhaustion. When ginseng and green tea are combined, their effects complement each other beautifully. Ginseng boosts oxygen use, stamina, and mitochondrial efficiency, while green tea protects cells, sharpens focus, and provides calm energy. The result is not a burst of nervous energy, but a steady sense of endurance enough to carry someone through a day of walking, cooking, or simply enjoying life without feeling drained halfway through. The preparation of ginseng green tea is simple but benefits from a little care. Boiling water should be allowed to cool slightly before steeping because extreme heat can destroy the delicate catechins in green tea. Steep the leaves for 2 to 3 minutes, then add a few thin slices of fresh ginseng root or a pinch of dried ginseng powder. Let it infuse for another 5 minutes. The flavor is earthy with a subtle sweetness, and a drizzle of honey can make it even more pleasant. Timing matters too. This tea is best enjoyed in the morning when its steady lift can support activity throughout the day. For those who often feel their energy collapse by mid-afternoon, a morning cup of ginseng green tea provides resilience that carries them forward. Of course, caution is always wise. Ginseng can have stimulating effects, so individuals with high blood pressure or certain medical conditions should consult their physician before using it regularly. But for most older adults, when consumed in moderate amounts as tea, it is safe, effective, and deeply restorative. The broader lesson is this: fatigue is not inevitable. It is the result of systems in the body falling out of balance, muscles underfueled, mitochondria underperforming, stress unchecked. Ginseng green tea addresses these imbalances in unison, building both energy and resilience. In my practice, I have seen remarkable transformations. Patients who once struggled to finish their daily walks found themselves going twice the distance, not because their legs suddenly became young again, but because they no longer felt exhausted after every step. They felt supported, energized, and capable. That sense of capability is priceless. It restores independence and confidence. With ginger and turmeric easing pain and circulation, and ginseng green tea restoring endurance, we have already addressed two of the most pressing challenges of aging. But there's one more piece of the puzzle: stress and sleep. Because even the strongest muscles cannot thrive in a body ruled by anxiety and restless nights. For that, we turn to the third Tishwagandha root tea. Before we move into the final tea, it's important to look more closely at the second half of the ginseng green tea partnership. Green tea itself, while ginseng lays the groundwork for stamina and resilience, green tea brings its own unique set of strengths, protecting muscles, lifting energy gently, and calming the mind. At the core of green tea's power are catechins, a family of antioxidants that shield the body from oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress as the rust that builds up inside a machine. It damages proteins, lipids, and DNA, weakening cells and accelerating aging. In muscles, oxidative stress contributes to faster fatigue, stiffness, and slower recovery. Catechins neutralize those destructive free radicals, slowing the rusting process and keeping muscle fibers intact longer. For older adults, this protection translates into more endurance, less soreness, and steadier mobility. But green tea does more than guard against decline. It actively supports energy. Unlike coffee, which delivers a jolt of caffeine followed by a crash, green tea provides balanced alertness. Its modest caffeine content is paired with L-theanine, an amino acid that calms the nervous system. Together, they create what researchers call relaxed focus. Instead of jittery hands and racing thoughts, you feel awake, clear, and steady. For seniors sensitive to strong stimulants, this balance is invaluable. It lifts energy without strain, which is precisely what the aging body needs. This unique energy profile makes green tea especially useful for combating the afternoon slump many older adults describe. Instead of collapsing into fatigue midway through the day, a morning cup of ginseng green tea provides a foundation of calm vitality that carries through chores, walks, or social activities. And because it avoids the harsh ups and downs of coffee, it doesn't interfere as much with sleep at night. Green tea also supports cardiovascular health, which in turn benefits muscles. Studies have shown that regular consumption improves blood vessel flexibility and lowers markers of heart disease. Stronger circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reach muscle tissue, amplifying the endurance benefits already provided by ginseng. The two together create a system of support. Ginseng helps muscles use oxygen more efficiently, while green tea makes sure oxygen arrives in the first place. Beyond the physical, there is a mental dimension to green tea's effect. Aging is not only a process of weakening muscles, but also of carrying mental fatigue, worry, distraction, or a sense of slowing focus. By combining caffeine and L-theanine, green tea enhances cognitive performance while reducing stress. Seniors who drink it often report not only more energy, but also sharper thinking, steadier moods, and more motivation to stay engaged with life. The preparation of green tea requires care. Water that is too hot can destroy delicate catechins, so it's best to let boiling water cool for a minute before steeping. 2 to 3 minutes is enough for the leaves, followed by an additional infusion period if ginseng is included. A drizzle of honey can soften any bitterness, but it's wise to avoid heavy sweeteners that might counteract the metabolic benefits. When paired with ginseng, green tea becomes more than the sum of its parts. Ginseng boosts mitochondrial function, reduces stress hormones, and improves endurance. Green tea shields muscle cells from oxidative stress, enhances circulation, and calms the nervous system while gently lifting energy. Together, they create a synergy of body and mind stamina without strain, energy without anxiety, clarity without exhaustion. This is why I often describe ginseng green tea as a bridge for older adults. It connects the physical with the mental, the muscles with the mind, because the truth is, energy is never just physical. A weary mind creates a weary body, and vice versa. By supporting both at once, this tea restores not just power in the legs, but also confidence in the spirit. Imagine the ripple effect. With more endurance, a senior can walk farther. With clearer focus, they feel motivated to leave the house. With calmer energy, they enjoy conversations without irritation. Small improvements in energy cascade into greater independence, stronger relationships, and a richer quality of life. That is the quiet strength of ginseng green tea. But even with better circulation, less inflammation, and more energy, one challenge still lingers: stress and sleep. For many older adults, nights are restless, mornings begin already tired, and the nervous system never truly relaxes. Without restorative rest, no amount of tea or exercise can fully rebuild strength. This is where the third and final ashwagandha root tea offers something uniquely powerful. If ginger turmeric tea is the warrior against pain and stiffness, and ginseng green tea is the engine that restores endurance, then ashwagandha root tea is the quiet healer that works deep within the nervous system. For many older adults, the real obstacle to strength is not only weak muscles or tired legs, it is the constant tension of stress and the draining toll of poor sleep. Without calm, without rest, the body spends more time breaking down than rebuilding. Ashwagandha, known for centuries in Ayurvedic medicine as the strength of the stallion, is what scientists today call an adaptogen. Adaptogens are unique plants that help the body adapt to stress and maintain balance. They do not simply energize or sedate. Instead, they stabilize. They nudge the body back toward equilibrium, regulating hormones, calming the nervous system, and creating the conditions necessary for healing. One of the most important ways ashwagandha works is by influencing cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. Cortisol is vital in small doses, but when it remains elevated day after day, it accelerates muscle breakdown, weakens bones, raises blood pressure, and disrupts sleep. Many older adults unknowingly live in this state of chronic cortisol elevation, which explains why they feel anxious, restless, and depleted even when they try to rest. Ashwagandha helps regulate cortisol, lowering it when it is too high and supporting balance when the body is under strain. This shift has profound effects. When cortisol levels fall, the nervous system relaxes. Muscles are given the signal to repair rather than remain tense. Sleep becomes deeper and more restorative, and energy, instead of being drained by constant stress, can be redirected toward healing and activity. Patients who incorporate ashwagandha tea often describe not just stronger legs, but also calmer minds and more confident steps. Their improvement is not merely physical, it is emotional. Ashwagandha also strengthens neuromuscular connections, the communication between nerves and muscles that governs balance and coordination. As we age, these connections can falter, leaving people unsteady on their feet. Clinical studies have shown that regular use of ashwagandha improves both balance and muscle strength, reducing the risk of falls, a crucial benefit for seniors, where one fall can change the course of independence. Perhaps one of the most overlooked gifts of ashwagandha is its ability to improve sleep. Many older adults struggle with insomnia or restless nights, unaware of how deeply this sabotages their muscle health. Muscles do not rebuild while you are awake, they heal during deep sleep, when growth hormone is released and tissues are repaired. Without restorative rest, even the best diet and exercise cannot rebuild strength. Ashwagandha tea, when consumed in the evening, quiets the racing mind, relaxes the body, and allows sleep to do its work. Patients often report waking with legs that feel lighter, stronger, and more cooperative because the body was finally given the chance to repair overnight. Preparation of ashwagandha tea takes a little more care than ginger or green tea. The root is dense and requires simmering for 10-15 minutes to release its compounds. The flavor's earthy, sometimes slightly bitter, but it pairs beautifully with cinnamon, cardamom, or a teaspoon of honey. For convenience, powdered ashwagandha or tea bags are available, though the whole root often provides the purest effect. Timing depends on the goal. For those seeking calm energy during the day, morning is ideal, but for many the greatest benefit comes from drinking it in the evening, allowing the nervous system to settle into rest. Unlike stimulants, adaptogens like ashwagandha do not create sudden effects. Their impact builds gradually over weeks as the body slowly returns to balance. Of course, caution is necessary. While ashwagandha is generally safe for most older adults, it may interact with thyroid disorders or autoimmune conditions since it can influence hormone levels. For anyone managing complex medical conditions or multiple prescriptions, consulting a physician before regular use is wise. But when used responsibly, ashwagandha offers remarkable benefits with very few side effects. The deeper lesson here is that muscle health is not only about muscle fibers, it is also about the invisible forces that shape how those fibers perform: stress hormones, nervous system fatigue, and the quality of sleep. A body that is tense, anxious, and sleepless cannot maintain strength no matter how much exercise it does. A body that is calm, balanced, and well rested, on the other hand, will find it far easier to preserve mobility and independence. Ashwagandha tea addresses this hidden dimension, creating the internal environment where strength can flourish. With all three teas, ginger turmeric, ginseng green tea, and ashwagandha root working together, a complete picture emerges. One soothes inflammation and fuels circulation, another lifts endurance and sharpens focus, and the last restores balance, improves sleep, and strengthens confidence. Together, they provide not just remedies for symptoms, but a holistic approach to aging with resilience. We have now walked through the three teas, ginger turmeric, ginseng green, and ashwagandha root, seen how each one addresses a different part of the aging puzzle. But the true strength of this approach comes when we view them not as isolated remedies, but as a unified practice. Ginger turmeric tea reduces inflammation and improves circulation, giving muscles the freedom to move and the resources to repair. Ginseng green tea restores stamina, sharpens focus, and fuels both body and mind with steady energy. Ashwagandha root tea calms the nervous system, balances stress hormones, and restores the deep sleep that muscles need to rebuild. Together, they form a circle of support, each reinforcing the other, covering the most common and most disabling forces of decline. It is important to understand that these teas are not magic potions. They do not deliver instant transformation. Their strength lies in consistency, patience, and ritual. A single cup may feel pleasant, but a daily practice carried out week after week creates the foundation for real change. Weakness does not arrive overnight, and strength is not rebuilt overnight. But small actions, repeated faithfully, accumulate into something powerful. I often remind my patients, aging is not a process of inevitable decline, but of adaptation. The body continues to respond to the choices we make, whether it's 60, 70, or beyond. When we choose daily habits that nourish circulation, calm inflammation, restore energy, and balance stress, we give our bodies the chance to remain resilient. That resilience is what preserves independence, confidence, and quality of life. Think about it this way. A cup of tea may seem ordinary, but inside it are compounds that directly influence the systems responsible for strength, balance, and energy. Antioxidants protect cells, adaptogens regulate stress, and anti-inflammatory agents calm the hidden fires of aging. These small molecules, taken in through a warm daily ritual, can tip the balance from decline to renewal. And beyond the chemistry, there is symbolism. Brewing tea each day becomes a statement: I am investing in my future self. I am choosing resilience over resignation. This act of self-care creates not only physical benefits, but also emotional empowerment. For many older adults, that empowerment, the sense of taking control again, is as valuable as stronger legs or steadier steps. So here is the bigger picture. Health in older age is not about one grand solution. It is about weaving together small, reliable habits that, when combined, create a life of greater strength, energy, and peace. Three teas, simple to prepare, inexpensive and safe, can serve as cornerstones of that lifestyle. Add them to light exercise, a balanced diet, and restorative sleep, and the results are nothing short of transformative. If you are over 60 and feel your legs weakening, your balance fading, or your energy slipping away, do not accept those changes as fate. Instead, see them as signals that your body is asking for support. And the good news is that support can begin with something as simple as tea. Ginger turmeric to ease inflammation and fuel repair, ginseng green to restore stamina and mental clarity, ashwagandha root to calm stress and renew recovery. They are not exotic, not expensive, and not complicated. They are within your reach today. Before we close, I want to speak directly to you. If this message has resonated with you, if you believe that aging should be about adaptation, not decline, I invite you to join us at Seniors Power today. Like this video to show your support. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss the guidance that could change your health journey. And share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us, which tea do you want to try first? Which part of your health do you most want to strengthen? By engaging, you do more than help yourself, you inspire others. Together we can rewrite the story of aging, showing that with the right choices, the years ahead can be full of strength, steadiness, and renewed confidence. This is your time. Take the first step. Brew the tea. Claim your resilience. When we talk about aging, most people imagine it as a slow slide downward a path of losses, loss of strength, loss of energy, loss of independence. But what if we flip that perspective? What if aging could be seen not as decline, but as transformation? A stage of life where wisdom deepens, resilience grows, and small daily choices create surprising renewal. The three T's we've discussed are not just remedies for the body, they are metaphors for this new way of living. Ginger turmeric reminds us that even when life brings stiffness and pain, there are ways to ease the burden and keep moving forward. Ginseng green tea teaches that energy is not about frantic bursts, but about steady, sustainable vitality that carries us through each day with purpose. Ashwagandha whispers that strength is not only in muscles, but also in balance, calm, and the peace of a good night's rest. Together they tell a story. Resilience is built from harmony, not force. Health in later years is not about fighting age in, it is about working with the body, supporting its needs, and respecting its rhythms. This philosophy reaches beyond the individual. When an older adult regains strength, the entire family feels it. A grandfather who can walk to the park with his grandchildren, a grandmother who can cook a family meal without collapsing in fatigue, a senior who feels confident enough to join social gatherings instead of withdrawing. These are not small victories. They ripple outward, strengthening relationships, preserving traditions, and enriching communities. Science now confirms what tradition always knew: habits matter. Small, repeated actions like a daily cup of tea have cumulative effects that no single pill or quick fix can match. When seniors choose these habits, they are not only protecting their own health, they are also modeling resilience for the generations watching them. Children and grandchildren learn that aging does not mean surrender, but adaptation. There is also a spiritual layer worth mentioning. In many cultures, tea is not just a drink, but a ritual of presence. Preparing it becomes a meditation. Drinking it becomes a pause in the rush of the day, a chance to reflect, breathe, and reconnect. For older adults navigating the anxieties of aging, these moments of ritual carry healing beyond the physical. They remind us that health is not just about muscles and joints, it is also about peace of mind. So the next time you brew a cup of ginger turmeric, ginseng green, or ashwagandha tea, don't see it as just hydration. See it as a declaration: I am choosing resilience. I am choosing to care for myself. I am choosing to remain strong, calm, and engaged in life. That choice is powerful. That choice changes everything. And once again, if this message resonates with you, don't keep it to yourself. Join our community at Seniors Power today. Like this video if you believe in resilience. Subscribe so you won't miss the next lesson. And comment below to share your story. Your voice could be the encouragement someone else needs to begin their own journey towards strength and balance, because aging is not the end of growth, it is the continuation of it. And with the right daily habits, the years ahead can be just as strong, just as full, and just as meaningful as the years behind. We have traveled a full circle together through the struggles of weak legs, fading balance, and draining fatigue, and into the possibilities of renewal through simple, natural habits. Along the way, 3 humble teas revealed themselves as powerful allies: ginger turmeric to reduce inflammation and fuel circulation, ginseng green to restore stamina and sharpen clarity, and ashwagandha root to calm the nervous system and renew sleep. And beyond the science, beyond the history, there is a deeper truth. These teas are not only about molecules and health, they are about reclaiming dignity. Aging does not have to be a surrender. It does not have to mean accepting decline as fate. With small, steady choices, you can tip the balance back towards strength, independence, and confidence. Each cup is more than hydration. It is a quiet declaration: I still have agency. I still choose resilience. I still choose life. And that choice ripples outward. When you feel stronger, your family feels reassured. When you regain energy, you share more moments with loved ones. When you walk steadier, you inspire others to believe that aging can be lived with grace. This is the essence of adaptation: acknowledging the changes of time, but meeting them with wisdom, patience, and new strategies. The body still responds, even at 70 or 80. Muscles can still rebuild, energy can still be renewed, balance can still be restored. What it takes is consistency, belief, and a willingness to embrace daily practices that nourish both body and soul. So, as we close this journey, I leave you with a challenge. Start small, but start today. Choose one of these teas and make it part of your daily rhythm. Drink it not as a quick fix, but as a companion on your path to resilience. Give it weeks, give it months. Watch as the small changes accumulate into something greater, lighter legs, steadier steps, calmer nights, and brighter mornings. And remember, you are not alone. You are part of a community that believes in strength after 60, in dignity in aging, and in the power of simple habits to transform life. If this message has touched you, I warmly invite you to join us at Seniors Power today. Like this video to show your support, subscribe so that every new lesson finds its way to you, and please share your thoughts in the comments. What challenges do you face? Which of these teas do you want to begin with? Your story could be the spark that gives another person the courage to begin their own journey. Together, we can change the way aging is lived, not as a slow fading, but as a steady adaptation. Not as resignation, but as resilience. Not as decline, but as renewal. This is your moment. Take it. Nourish yourself. Brew the tea. Step forward into the years ahead with strength, steadiness, and confidence.